It would have just been more vicious.
Yeah, that's my point.
I took all the vicious and venom away because I didn't have any. Plus, I understood I'm not trying to offend black women with short hair. I'm not trying to offend heavyset women. I'm not trying to upset fellow comedians. I'm not trying to do any of that, and I am qualified to be able to do none of that and still eviscerate you because I'm smart enough to know that I need to say that you have gnarled fingers because I know your limited education means you don't know what the word means. So you can't possibly respond to it. You're not sure of the meaning. And I'm going to continue hitting you because this is what comedians do.
Right.
You've been masquerading that you're a comedian too. And that's the fallacy.
So
nobody in boxing fights out of their weight class. If you're a 130 pounder, you don't just show up with the 160 pounders. You stay in your weight class.
Is that what you wanted to do?
No.
That she was out of her league when it came to... Because
I didn't want to do any of it.
I know you didn't want to, but once she took it there, did you feel that you had to go there? Oh, you
go where?
You could have said, Wanda, I didn't come here for that. I just want to do the interview. I just want to talk about what happened.
Oh, you misunderstand my job. My job is to be funny. My job is to be funny first. My first job is to be funny. My second job is to be respectful. My third job is to be immaculate and Gaza strip it. That's non-political. I'm saying if you you let a terrorist accidentally touch over here, and I won't stop burning you down until there ain't nothing left. It'll literally be rubble on top of rubble, and I'll still be bombing. Why? Because that's why you should mind your business. This is what F around and find out is about.
Right. Have you ever been booed, Cat?
Yes. Yeah. I have.
What was that feeling like? Did it want to give up? Because because when you have, I don't know how early it was in your career. Obviously it hadn't been I don't think it's in the last decade because you've been immaculate.
Have you ever dropped a pass?
I have. I've been booed too.
You know the little segment between everything is fine and I got it, and then you noticing where it is now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's that. The thing about as a comedian, the audience's opinion is the only opinion that matters, not you, the writer, not none of that. And so I don't think any comedian has ever been booed unnecessarily either.
They deserve it.
Oh yeah. I'm saying, what do they say when a guy shoots the air ball in the NBA? They say air ball to make sure everybody knows. But again, he still got to get back on D.
Right.
Like the game didn't end. He don't get to throw his hands up and sulk.
Right.
That's supposed to be used as a learning experience. Most comedians don't get booed enough. I mean, this is how you end up with a Michael Blackson who's a real African doing a fake African accent. Okay, this guy is mad at me. All I did was give him the best advice of his life. Remember, he was wearing dirty dashikis. And I told him he needed to dress to be in the position that he's trying to say that he's in. And if you're the African king of comedy, sir, there's actually comedians in Africa doing comedy. If you're going to say that, you got to go to Africa and get a school, dude. Everybody you got to put in some work. And these guys, they take my advice. They change their whole persona. And then they hate me for it. And generally, I'm just too big to comment or make a statement about it or do a live or any of that. But when it gets to be a whole grouping of these guys, I gotta come and talk to Shannon. I gotta lay it down at the altar.
You know every comedian.
This is the other side of Kirk Franklin prank. This is the reckoning. 2024. The reckoning.
You watch that. You know every comedian that's been on my show, you know, you watched every episode. Cause
No,
you know,
that's not what you said. You said I know every comedian.
You know every comedian.
You're limiting me.
Oh, you watched every episode because you know things. You know things.
That's always where I'm trying to come from, whether it's comedic or otherwise. That's why even if you see me get arrested 10 times in a row on TV, as a fan of mine, you can be like, he finna be right out. Yeah, but they just said he didn't do it. He couldn't have. It's stupid. Why would he do something stupid knowing he got to come back and talk to us? Nah, they respect that every time it happens, I'm going to be free as a bird sitting out here talking to you about it, that it really was what I said it was. That's all.
You end up, you come down, you're in LA.
Yeah.
Now, I'm reading Cat Williams won Cedric the Entertainer's Anheuser-Busch Best Los Angeles Comic Award. Did you win that award, won Cat Williams? It's a simple yes or no. It's not a rhetorical question.
It's a question that probably should have been asked to Cedric the Entertainer.
I'm asking you. I got you here, though.
I know. I couldn't believe Cedric didn't get asked that question. You still a dude's joking and giving an award, and then 10 years later you don't know nothing about it. Hey, but I promise you this.
What?
If he sees me again before he sees you, he'll be talking different when you see him. That's for certain. That's the difference. That's what these comics understand, is that I'm not doing nothing for clout. I don't even recognize clout. But eventually the Lord is going to let me and you be in one hallway. A lot of these dudes go... Kevin Hart done went 25 years without ever being in the same building with me at the same time. If I go in the building, he walk out. You've never seen us in the same building ever in 25 years. Like, it's like that. Why? Why?
Yes.
Because I'm really the product. It's not what you think. I am never under the influence of anything. I'm always in my right mind. I'm always a physical specimen. And when you see me, I'm much, much bigger than you had thought. I have far less play in me than you would like. And I'm relentless. I'm out there. I'm still, to this day, I play 11 games of basketball with a 20-year-old. The record is 92-6. This is just in the yard, just to the rack, just cause.
You work out, Cat? You work out, Cat?
Not to the gym.
You don't work out in the gym? You do push-ups, sit-ups?
My whole life it was just push-ups and sit-ups only. I would do like 100 push-ups a day. Just.
I thought you were gonna say 1,000.
No, because this is literally every day.
Right.
This is not for the gram. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like literally 100 a day. And I would do push-ups, and then I tore both my rotator cuffs. And so it was only thanks to golf that I was even able to get my
You a golfer now?
back. I've been a golfer for quite some time. My short game is impeccable. I can't get you but 2 and some change off of the
tee.
Off the tee, but I'm still coming in for par guaranteed.
Are you playing for the tips?
No. I've found that you don't get anything for that. It seems very egomaniacal. They go, hey, Cat, for free, you can go further back. Hey, what? Wait a minute, does it still count the same? Hey, I'm up at the ladies' tee. Don't tell me my pronouns. On the golf course, I'm she, her, him, them, and they. Whoever at the front tee.
I know we're joking, we're having a great conversation, but you did win the award. How did the award help your career? It had to help something, Cat.
Nope.
God, come on, Cat.
I didn't remember it happened till you just said it. How can Cedric give you an award that was worth something? Everything Cedric and Ricky Smiley ever been in got canceled for not being funny. Ricky sat here and told you that they cut him out of every movie he did. They always had a reason. Like, That's why I'm funny, because I'm a happy person. I laugh all day long. I can't even imagine the misery of these bums. Just to not be good at what you do, not work hard at what you do, but have to act like you the best at what you do. It is crazy. It's crazy.
But they be touring, they be doing like 100 shows a year.
That's me. I don't run into none of them. That's what I'm saying. If you a Faizon Love fan, you mean you've been a fan of him for 32 years, you still waiting on him to do his first special? You mean to tell me if Steve Harvey, your favorite comedian, you mean you've been waiting for him to do stand-up for 15 years now?
I mean, Steve got a lot of other
DL still out there. None of those irons matter to stand-up. Who cares that they wrote a placard for you to do Family Feud on? Like, you're successful because we're surprised you can talk for a living and it's entertaining that you're going to say some funny country things. But not a writer.
Right.
Not a writer.
How did you develop Money Mike and get it? Everybody talk Money Mike. How did you come up with that and said, you know what, this is how he should dress, this is how he should talk, this is how he should look, this is the kind of whip he should ride, this is how he should talk?
So if you'll remember that was my first movie, just understand that what I did then, I've done with every single role, whether it was an Emmy-winning role or whether it wasn't, whether I was playing somebody homeless, whether I was playing a dirty vagabond on Atlanta, whether it was an eccentric guy in First Sunday, regardless of what the role is, the first thing I do is erase me from it.
Okay.
So anything that I would naturally do, that's what I'm not going to do because I'm playing a different character.
Playing the character, okay.
Right. So I then create this person based upon real life circumstances. So I don't have to wonder what a pimp thinks because I've been in that position for a little while. I also worked manual labor for some time in my life, so I don't have a problem paying somebody that works. And I don't have a problem being a go-getter because I'm a go-getter. So I bring whatever I can to these characters. I was able to... The first week that I got the script, there was a pimp guy that used to be a pimp, but he wasn't anymore. He was a rapper now, and his name was Mac Minister. And he had been a pimp and was going to be a rapper. And I had never done a movie before. I was a stand-up, and I'm getting ready to do the movie. And so I was able to craft what a real pimp was like, what was too much. I didn't want to be stereotypical.
Right.
I did the research. I saw how many times people played pimps, and they were always... It was always something weird about them,
right.
I guess, because it's a weird job. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I wanted somebody that didn't seem like none of that. That he really thought it was a business and treated it like that. And so, you know, adding those levels to acting is what all actors do if they're not Steve or Cedric or Ricky. Like, you're trying to create a character. You can't just be Faizon in every movie. Like, you just gonna take your shirt off on every movie? Like, why does it say that in your script?
Man, let Big Worm live. Let him breathe, cat. Let Big Worm breathe. Stall him out now.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
No, I ain't got no allegiance to the man. But you got to admit the role that he played, Big Perm in Friday now. You got to give him credit for the role now. Come on now.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If what you're saying is correct, why wasn't he in Next Friday or Friday After Next?
I mean, his role,
It wasn't good. Sorry.
There was a lot of people that appeared in the first one that weren't in the second one, Cat.
I'm just telling you why. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that there's a news flash that there are reasons for things in a business.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, why did you bench D-Lo? He had 2 points. What are you talking about? Shut up. But I like him. Nobody cares about that. That's not what we're talking about. These are business conversations that deal with businessmen.
Right.
Right. When you're good at something, you should progress. The guys that are not as good, they should fall down by the wayside. That's natural.
So you believe if your talent doesn't support it, you should fall by the wayside, and the guys that have the talent and they get elevated, they should move.
No, that's what water says. That's what the universe say. The universe say the levels. No, I don't. Not I say. Who am I? I'm nobody. But I'm working every day as if I think that's what
Should happen.
is how it should be. And I'm choosing comedians that also write and work hard and don't steal other people's material. And I'm making sure that they all make $300,000 a season. And I'm making sure that they're not ever signed to me or my conglomerate. And that's why they're successful. No, you can work with me and still be an independent businessman, boss owner like you came in.
Right.
I don't need you to be subservient to me. That's those other guys that make you pay dues.
You said earlier that you rewrote a lot of what Money Mike was to say and how he behaved. So they allowed you the freedom, the liberty to ad lib. How much?
Would they allow you to just make an interception if didn't nobody talk about it? As a football player, if the ball come your way, can you just grab it? Can you make an interception anytime? Are you allowed to pick up any fumble? You can do any hustling, right? Oh, okay. Same here. Same here.
But here's the thing, though. Even as an offensive player, they might let me ad lib once I get a couple of years under my belt. They wouldn't let me ad lib as a rookie. That was your first movie.
I told you the conversation in my first movie. Just because I am committed to laughs. The only way I made it past those 300 comedians, I didn't tell you this. What it required is I had to watch all 300 comedians 10 times a piece. I watched your set 10 times of you performing, whoever you were, and then I counted how many laughs you got every time you did these amount of minutes. So if you told me this comedian and told me he did 30 minutes, I could tell you that he got 26 laughs in that 30 minutes because I had done the numbers on everybody. So I didn't just say I was funnier. I knew I was funnier than the comic you liked, and I could tell you how many jokes funnier I was because that's how we judge stand-up. You do 15 minutes, I do 15 minutes. How do I know I'm funnier than you? Because you got 6 laughs and I got 16. I'm almost 3 times better than you, low-key boy. But I'm never gonna tell you the formula. So you gonna keep just going out there telling jokes, not understanding that psychologically, the audience by 10 years is convinced that I'm funnier than you. They just don't know why. Because I'm putting out more content, better.
I had Terry Crews on here. He said at the time that you did the movie, you were homeless. Is that true?
This was my situation. 5 months prior to me getting this first audition for Friday After Next, I got this baby son. I'm holding him up above me. He grabs my little chain. He's playing with it, and he accidentally drops it. It breaks out my front 2 teeth. I'm in a situation now where when I go to the dentist, they telling me this gonna cost thousands and thousands of dollars to fix this right. They not telling me what it's gonna look like. I go get an estimate with no money involved, find out what I need to do. They find out you got a tumor in your upper jaw, so we're gonna have to do a whole surgery for you. It's gonna be 100 bands. I don't have it. And I'm only gonna have this check from this movie. So while I'm doing this movie, we live in this trailer. This is where we live. So when they come to work at 5 in the morning, we already there. When they leave at night, we still there. We just double back because we understood that this is our one opportunity. And we have this opportunity to change our lives, just like a young man going for the draft.
Right.
We can actually get in the league with this. There are 30 comedians on this cast. They're all magnificent. This is the holy grail of the situation. So yeah, I was able to make sure that, because it wasn't just my first movie, it was K.D. Albert's first movie, it was Terry Crews' first movie.
Absolutely.
I was the leader of this group, which meant that we didn't do their rehearsals, they did rehearsal, we did our own rehearsals daily to make sure that we were at the level of professional actors, which is what made it so egregious, that guy. Saying, I was supposed to. You were supposed to what?
Caddy did have a good part in the movie, man. The Santa Claus was funny, man.
The dude said the entire time we were filming, I can't play this role. They got a bandana over my nose and my mouth. My family not even gonna know who this is. So yeah, tell your story.
Terry Crews also said that you guys had a lot of conversation, that this was your opportunity and you needed to seize this moment.
Terry had the benefit of having been in some very high-profile situations already and took L's. Mm-hmm. Like, he had been in the league, you know what I mean? He had done pro wrestling. He had done a lot of things. He had been televised in some things that hadn't worked.
Right.
And this was just fortuitous for him. And now you know what nobody has ever said in the whole industry in 20 years about, you know, the whole Money Mike not getting raped in the bathroom.
Right.
So I understood going in that there's no reason. I lost for a 5-year period, every single movie that Kevin Hart did was a movie that had been on my desk, that all I had said was, just, can we take some of this step and fetch it shit out? And then I can do it. Like, it don't need to be overtly homosexual, because I'm not homosexual, right? It doesn't need that to be funny, right? Mm-hmm. And me saying that and them going, oh yeah, no problem. And then going to give it to this other guy and having him do it just like it was, and acting like I'm a bad person because I keep standing on my standard. But yeah, it's interesting, but I wouldn't change it for the world. Like, again, I'm on the winning side of these decisions.
You know, look, I've had Cube, I've talked to Cube, and a lot of people say Cube doesn't pay. What's your relationship with Cube, and what did that opportunity mean for you?
Well, the ungrateful bastards that would say anything about Cube's payment, you shouldn't even talk to them anymore. Like, you don't go to Goodwill, you don't go to a Goodwill thrift store and go, look at all this cheap ass shit. Why don't you shut up? Why don't you shut up? You could have went to Hermes. Why you didn't go to Balenciaga? Why you didn't get a